Happy Lord of the Mysteries Day. Instead of crying and complaining where episode 7 reaction is, why don't you look at the pinned comment and check out the live stream where we'll be watching the episode in today's stream as soon as this video goes up. Later though, you come in begging for it, you get banned. We got Echidnut, a ReZero content creator. Actually, my bad. He's a fraud, right? Not my words. He's not a ReZero content creator. And apparently, neither am I. It's a very inside reference for the terminally online and the unemployed. If you know, you know. We got a Lord of the Mysteries video. Let's check it out.
Lord of the Mysteries is actually very simple and easy to understand.
True. No. Straight up true. I hate this dragging of, oh my god, this story is so complicated and impossible to understand. That is just dragging out this stereotype that this story is that difficult. Now, of course, if you get down to the complexities, the mysteries itself, it can get overwhelming. Absolutely. But the notion that you can't understand the base story, I'm not even talking deep level theory crafting. I'm saying surface level understanding of, oh, guy comes here, transmigrates, and wants to go home. Oh, you drink a fucking potion and get some powers. And then the better you act in that way, the more powerful you become and get more potions and drink. Like, it's so simple. It's so fucking simple, but people have, again, this like weird stereotype that they're trying to drag out that this is the most complicated, hardest thing ever, and it ends up gatekeeping everyone else. It's stupid.
I'm just kidding. I am about to watch it for the first time though, and I don't expect it to feed me all the answers in the first few episodes, especially when the word mystery is literally in the title.
That's right. That's like watching ReZero for the first time, like first season, and motherfuckers are like, yo, who is Satala? What? I want the answers to all these different witches. Remember, like, this is supposed to be like a very slow burn thing as you watch more and more answers come out later. You're not supposed to be given the answers immediately, but some people are like, oh, we don't get anything. Therefore, I'm so confused. You're supposed to be confused, and that's perfectly fine. But to equate that into like, this show is so hard, that's so fucking stupid.
So yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable not immediately understanding everything. I may not be a rocket surgeon, but I have seen a ton of anime, so...
Bro. One Piece is pretty difficult, right? But it's just like, I don't know. One Piece, Naruto, already two of the mainstream Unga Bunga battle shonens. Attack on Titan is pretty deep though, right? Attack on Titan gets fucking crazy with the basement stuff. Anyways.
Okay, so it can't be that.
And I think that One Piece is pretty difficult. I think that it is a very, again, the floor to entry. I think this is what people need to understand. There's a floor and a ceiling. The ceiling is basically how high you want to go, how deep dive you want to go, and how advanced these theories can get. But the floor is basically like, hey man, you can just watch it and you can understand. Like, anybody can just watch it and understand basically at surface level. The most basic, the most standard stuff. We're not talking, again, deep advanced theories.
Confusing, right? How complicated can it really be? Is happening. All right, so that
no, the intro literally says there's 22 pathways, 9 to 1, and probably 0. You get higher in the number, as in like 9 to 1. Smaller your number, stronger you are. A fucking monkey can understand that. And motherfuckers out here is like, what's a beyonder? What does this mean? Like, it told you 22 pathways. Drink a fucking potion! 9 to 1! 1 is really strong!
Intro was absolutely insane. I have no idea what I just saw. I won't even attempt to understand any of that yet, but it looked fantastic. The visuals are incredible.
You gotta be trolling me, bro. You're fucking trolling me. There's no way Echidnut is that fucking stupid that he wouldn't understand the intro. I think he's dragging this out, just like every other content creator that's trying to, again, side with the fucking tourist that get filtered out by how fast-spoken the Chinese dub is. Nah. This is bullshit. The intro literally spoon feeds you 22 powers. Drink a fucking potion. 9 to 1.
So far, and this studio is cooking. Whoever's animating this definitely deserves
BC May Studio. Shout out to them. Blame Tencent for the pacing.
Deserves a higher social credit score. Anyway, this guy.
+1. The CCP loves me over on Bilibili, apparently. The Chinese netizens are all kind of supporting the React Messiah, apparently. I actually don't know. I haven't read the Billy comments. But the views, I see the videos. The views are going up.
Our guy, the protagonist, he's not who he is. If I'm not mistaken, Klein Moretti was murdered by himself. And after that, the main character gets transported into Klein's body and becomes him. And the gunshot wound fucking heals itself or some shit.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Is that a one-time thing? Because we haven't really seen Klein sustain any crazy injuries just yet, so we'll have to see what happens if he ever gets like a crazy injury. Will he heal again? I don't know.
I don't know.
穿越意识也好，穿越意识也罢。
Wait, they just said transmigrating. No
Yeah.
way. Am I watching an isekai right now?
Yes. Different world. Isekai is literally different world.
So I guess the main character was just a regular average guy from Earth, but now his new name is Klein because that was the name of the person who's...
And they dare not say China, even though his name is Chinese. They call it the Great Foodie Nation. China does have a long, crazy history of food and culture, right? But anyways, it's called the Great Foodie Nation.
Body he's inhabiting. And Klein had an ancient book that seems to be the driving force of the plot right now, but...
Antigone's Diary. This diary is something else, man. This is like, again, this is the thing that basically is like the source of all mysteries in season 1 so far. What is it doing? Why did we look into it? Wait, or is this actually the same diary we're talking about? The diary I'm talking about is the one that Welch, Naya, and Klein were apparently, you know, operating on, trying to read before Klein transmigrated and something happened. There was a different book too, where it says everyone will die, including myself. Was that in the Antigonus diary? Or was that something else? Was that Klein's like personal diary? What was that? That was Klein's journal. Yeah, that was just Klein's journal. Yeah, so he like basically shit happened with the Antigonus diary. Welch and Naya off themselves. Klein, before shooting himself, wrote down a bunch of stuff, and everyone will die, including myself.
more importantly, Klein also had a sister. Klein also had a sister. It took one female character for me to start simping, guys. I was hoping Klein would take...
I like Melissa. She's very cute. She's very strong and independent and smart. Engineering god, you know, can fix robots, little tinkering stuff. She is very conscious about her social status and ranking in this society of, you know, being aware of money and trying to not, you know, burden others. She's honestly such a standout little sister, way too mature for her own age. And the motherfuckers are gonna say that and say, so mature for her own age. How old we talking? Shut the fuck up.
his sister's toothbrush and make a fucking Monogatari reference, but instead he went out to run some errands and it seems like somebody's following him, so he hides in a fortune teller's tent
Nighthawk.
where he gets the Fool tarot card, which is also the title of this first episode.
Which is also crazy, because again, if we remember, the theory that we're building off right now is the Fool is sequence 0 of the path of the seer, and the Fool is also the name of a tarot card. And I think it's fucking crazy. Honestly, it'd be even crazier if Cuttlefish named this episode 1 a 0, or like, remember, like, imagine if chapter 0 was called the Fool, to kind of like have a play on like pun of like the sequence like 0 that may exist. I think at this point it's pretty obvious. I know the English stuff, blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm still gonna say this for whatever suspense. But like, the thing about this is it's a tarot card. And if you think about the tarot cards, and there's 22 tarot cards, right? Am I crazy? Or is there 22 tarot cards? There is, right? The 20, is there 22 tarot cards? Or am I crazy? It is. Okay. So basically there's 22 pathways, 22 tarot cards. There's 22 seats around our mysterious palace above the gray fog too. Yeah. So like, if you really think about it, it's kind of crazy that it's most likely that these tarot cards will be the name of every sequence 0 of the 22 pathways that exist right now. Again, if you haven't seen my theory about the sequence 0 stuff, go check out there. So that means that the Hanged Man, Justice, right? Stuff like that. Sequence 0 is literally in front of us, and we don't even realize. Like, imagine that.
Episode.
The
What happens
fog.
next was so fucking crazy, I actually had to rewatch the entire episode from the beginning just to understand it, but I think I got it now. Back on Earth, our main character thought he was doing a good luck ritual, but it turned out to be a transmigration ritual that sent him here. I don't know.
Well, that part is still weird because again, it is from China, right? The good luck enhancement ritual. And he just bought it because he was so like tired of work and getting fucked over at work. So he was so desperate for anything. But then somehow it brought him here. Could be a coincidence, right? Could be a coincidence. I don't know. What if it was any other bullshit ritual? Maybe it would have worked regardless. But like it happened, and then he does the ritual again, and then it happens in this new world. Why? I don't know. Why does it work here? I don't know.
How he ended up in Klein's body, but he tries doing the same ritual again, hoping that it would send him back to Earth, but instead it sends him to this gray fog dimension.
It's so important, bro. That gray fog dimension, the world above, the gray fog, this shit. Again, what is going on here? This art is pretty cool because we get to see a symbol of what I think is the eye, the vertical eye, and like the crown stuff that we see constantly whenever we look at the Hornacis or Seer Pathway or Antigonus. And remember, that theory that we built on, this symbol is very important anyways.
Fog dimension. And somehow he accidentally summons 2 random people as well, so he appears to have tremendous power in this realm. He's able to manipulate things and create...
And this is before he drank the Seer Potion. This gray fog stuff is before Klein became a Beyonder. I still think it'd be really cool if he was a Beyonder before he became a Beyonder, right? That's one of my other fucking tinfoil theories of like before Klein got transmigrated, he was already a Beyonder of whatever power. Maybe it's not the case at all. Maybe this is something completely separate.
Create structures by using this gay fog, but instead of
what?
Power in this realm, he's able to manipulate things and create structures by using this gay fog.
Okay.
But instead of being all shy and confused like every other anime protagonist would, Klein adapts immediately and starts fucking aura farming.
Yeah, he's scamming them. The mysterious ruler.
As you guys know, I normally spend most of the day aura farming, but now you can too.
Hashtag ad! Holy shit, AFK Arena's still going hard, bro?
Because Solo Leveling is doing a collab with AFK Arena.
Ain't no fucking way, bro. Basically, where's the one person that criticizes Echidnut for being a fake Reaser reactor? He would be eating this shit up. See? What I tell you? He's a fake Lord of the Mysteries content creator too. He only did that for a sponsor. Anyways, hashtag sponsor. Use the download link in description now and give Echidnut money. Alright? Here's a link. Bang, bang, bang. There's a link. Jesus Christ. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm trying to copy this only. We gotta show some support around. Listen, I'm a lazy reactor, man. I'm just leeching off of Echidnut's video. So there's the link. Go check out Echidnut's, discount code, whatever. Play AFK Arena. Give him some money.
Check out this insane collab with Solo Leveling. You can also download...
That's right. Can you imagine that someone would make content to make money? I can't believe someone would do something to get paid, bro. Fucking soulless. Fucking fake ass people.
Download it with my QR code on the screen and use my gift code as well. You don't want to miss out on this event. Thank you again to AFK Arena for sponsoring this video.
Shout outs.
After the people
That's right, what a fucking sellout. I can't believe he would work to make money. What a fucking... That take is crazy to me still. Again, people have this like position against content creators and YouTubers because they think they should be done for passion, and they're so jealous of people making money on a different level of doing content, so they try to rationalize in their own head of why it's like morally incorrect to be able to make a video to make money. But it's, again, the fucking ramblings of a fucking child that has no idea how society works.
He's summoned to ask him who he is and what's going on. Klein plays it off as if he meant to bring them here, and he tells them that his name is the Fool. Honestly, I love this part because I was totally expecting him to be like, where am I? But instead, he's just like,
locked in.
I am a god. I thought it was funny when the girl...
I love this too. This scene, again, the Zoom calls that I call this is like one of my favorite parts of the story. In any other show, if there's meeting tables like Tensura and if it's done bad, everyone dreads it. In Slime, Reincarnated Slime, we see a meeting table, everyone is like, fuck me. That's not how you should feel. You should feel excited. The direction, again, of the studio adapting whatever source material needs to do a job to make those scenes captivating. And I think that, again, 8-Bit Studios absolutely fucking ruins it for Slime. I don't think it's the source material that's necessarily at fault. There is a way to make this compelling. BC Made Studios knows exactly what to do. And apparently this is also a fan favorite thing in the web novel too. These calls, these meetings at the palace table, fucking crazy.
Girl asked him a question he didn't know the answer to, so he's just like,
yeah,
this guy will answer your question.
Exactly. He just literally sits there until Alger does something. And Alger in his head is like, the mighty fool is expecting something of me. Is this a test? Such trivial answers is not worthy to be given by our god. I must step up and answer him. And Klein is like, woof. Thank God someone fucking bailed me out again.
He's just such a badass, and I still don't really understand everything that's happening, but this whole anime is
yeah, so this part is confusing. Absolutely. Of like, where the because like, again, when we first got pulled into this gray fog, I think this part is definitely very confusing because people are wondering, what is this? Why did this happen? Right? Because like up until this point, we're just living the life of Klein, buying bread and just existing. And then this happens and it's just like, what the fuck? Why are these two people specifically here? Well, again, that's part of the mystery. You're not supposed to know it just yet. But then you get to start to realize more and more that like, oh, Klein is able to somehow interact with, you know, these people, you know, kind of like interacting with the red constellation. I don't know how important that is, but there are like red constellation stars, right? There's like a theme of space and stars and shit over here. And when he interacted with the red dot, you know, we pulled them in. So Klein clearly has the ability to pull people into this domain. And luckily enough, you know, Audrey and Alger, I don't know. Honestly, I think Audrey is MVP of the meeting, the Tarot Card Club. I think that Audrey absolutely is MVP and is hard carrying the Tarot Card Club. She is rich as fuck and has so much influence and power to shape an entire fucking nation. She is from Backland and Klein suggested some changes in the system. She already put that in. She's already enacting changes of an entire fucking kingdom, which is mind-blowing. Alger, I love the guy because of how cool he looks. He has yet to do anything of significance yet. He's too busy sailing on the high seas. He doesn't really get a chance to really do something. I'm sure later on he'll have his opportunity, but like, man, Audrey is hard carrying, even though people like call her stupid and naive, which she is, but still, I think she's hard carrying.
I will answer your question. He's just such a badass, and I still don't really understand everything that's happening, but this whole anime is extremely cool.
Donghua, not an anime, you racist.
So far. Already I can tell the lore runs deep in this story. Even though most of the terminology means nothing to me right now, I can guarantee the author spent years imagining this world and perfecting its culture and...
Yes, because the author literally made a statement recently saying, listen, you dumbasses, there is a reason why Volume 1 is so, like, expansive and quote-unquote not slow, but like apparently the web novel is like 200 something chapters, right? Apparently the author has made a statement. I don't know if it was recent or the past, but basically he said, I intentionally made volume 1 or season 1 of the Donghua very expansive. We're taking a very slow burn route in terms of like actually like, again, people think it's fast paced. I don't argue with that, but like in terms of like what he's setting down, he's like, I know what I'm doing. Like, just like, trust, let this shit cook. You will be fucking mind blown of the future stuff because of the things that I'm doing right now, so just wait.
Politics and history, and I just can't wait to see how everything ties together later on. I can't stress enough how much fun it is to be well...
When will that happen though, right? I mean, even in like ReZero, the season 2 stuff blew our minds away with the Witch's Tea Party, right? All that crazy lore we would have never expected. That shit took 8 years. It didn't take 8 years, it was like 4 years, right? Anyways, Lord of the Mysteries apparently, this is like 5th season is already set. I wonder how fast the seasons will show. I hope to God that like every season will happen every year. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they're able to deliver a new season of Donghua every year? That would be so cool, man. Because people are gonna forget. People are gonna forget and people are gonna move on, and then when it comes back, it might be an afterthought. Like, we need a momentum.
Welcomed into a brand new world where I don't know shit. Every plot point is new and exciting, and there's just endless possibilities because I haven't been spoiled yet, and that's a feeling.
Yeah, don't read the YouTube comment section. A bunch of pretentious motherfuckers calling themselves Donghua onlys, writing down fucking, oh, these are my theories. Yeah, sure, bro. Again, anytime shows like this happen, including Mushoku Tensei and ReZero, anytime there's like a smart show, people basically want their voices to be heard, but they don't want to be like, basically they want to be praised while wearing the mask of somebody that's never experienced it in order to get glazed harder. Because if a source material reader, you know, answers something, you like, that doesn't take skill. Like, congratulations, you read a fucking book and you're reciting what happened, right? But so many people, I feel like, say, oh, I'm Donghua only, and then they write a fucking essay. They write a fucking essay and it's just like, sure, bro.
Something that I dearly miss from series like Mushoku Tensei, Re:Zero, and other anime that I read the novel for, because being an anime only is so much better, so I'm gonna try to...
Agreed, bro. Like, it again, all the different plot twists, all the different, like, revelations. It is just... it's frustrating because, like, bro, I want to read ahead. I want to know what happens because there's so much fucking lore that I want to know. But at the same time, that itself is the reward. If I get all the answers, there's no fun. It's about the journey. It's about having something good to look forward to. That's why I love being an anime only. But at the same time, God, just like it's so fucking troll because I know the answers are there. But it's like, it's a forbidden fruit. I can't.
Savor this blissful ignorance of being an anime only for as long as possible, because right now, I'm having a great time. I am a bit disappointed to see that there's only going to be 13 episodes. Honestly, I was hoping for 25, but...
Technically, this is closer to like 20 episodes, right? If you look at the overall duration. There is like, every episode is like 30 something minutes long. So if you kind of like, I don't know. If you like, you know, tally that up and compare that to like a 22-minute, you know, standard anime episode, right? Anyways.
Anyway, just finished episode 2, and I think I understand the power system now. I'm gonna try to explain it, so please correct...
You don't need to watch episode 2 to understand that power system. It's literally the fucking first intro sequence of the fucking trees that you've made a big deal about. 22 pathways. Drink a fucking potion. 9 to 1. Thank you, Black Man, for the Prime, or the tier 1. I appreciate that.
Me if any of this is wrong, but from my understanding, by drinking a very special and intricate potion, people can become beyonders, which are basically people with abilities beyond a normal human. And these beyonders are classified by 22 different pathways, which are like the classes you pick at the start of a video game. You know, Stealth Archer, Warrior, Wizard, Stealth Archer, Healer, Berserker.
Did he say Stealth Archer twice?
Each pathway has 9 sequences, which are like Pokemon evolutions where you get stronger every sequence until at the end you're practically a god. And
literally, you reach godhood. The higher you rise up.
Typically in this type of story,
I'm gonna mention this in the other actual reaction too, of the actual like episode reaction. But here's something that maybe this is a very obvious thing. Maybe this is really obvious and you guys already know. But it only took me until like recently when I was really thinking about this that like, yo, the blazing god of sun, the Evernight goddess, even like the true creator, these are all beyonders. These are all people who reach sequence 0. And I was like, wait. Well, no shit. Cause like, but how does, but that's a sun. But that's a fucking sun though. How, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if Susie can become a fucking beyonder, and that, what if Susie reaches sequence 0? What form will that dog take? Cause, listen, there is the mythology that the creator, I think the creator also is a beyonder. Or at the very least create, I don't know. I think it's bullshit, but it's just like, when I was really thinking about it, like when you achieve godhood, like again, in this show, there's fucking deities, there's fucking angels and shit, right? Like saints and angels and fucking gods and shit. That's all just beyonder. Like you don't just become a god. Like the creator didn't just be like, oh, you know, here I give birth to the Evernight goddess, boom. No. That's a real fucking person who reached sequence 0. And the more I thought about this, I was like, am I smart for realizing this or am I stupid for now realizing this? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, is this just common sense that I should be aware of? I don't know. I feel, again, I don't know whether or not to feel smart or stupid for realizing this just now. Anyways.
You like to go hella deep with it, so I bet there's even something beyond the final sequence.
Yeah, I think it's sequence 0, right? I've been theorizing that even before the English dub came out, but at this point, it's very obvious.
If I had to bet, but try not to spoil me if you know. The main character, Klein, chooses the Seer pathway, which appears to be a non-combat class for the most part, or I guess it's more accurate to call him a support character.
Sure.
He's not gonna win a 1v1 with a warrior, but he's able to do some utility shit like finding missing people and stuff.
I think in this show, fighting one-on-one is less important than having utility. I think utility and having support and being able to do divinations and shit. Like, bro is like divining like random objects, like the mutated sun emblem, and being able to fucking reach God. Like this stuff is way more useful in my opinion than like having a fucking fist fight and soloing people.
Obviously, down the line, he'll probably get some more abilities and maybe even some combat ones.
Yeah, and the clown, right? The clown, he hasn't seen episode 3 yet, but the clown, right? Clearly we can. Well, I think he was sequence 7 technically, but yeah, you get combat powers.
I have no idea what direction the story is going, but I do have a suspicion, a bit of a game theory, if you will.
Okay.
I think our main character isn't just a sequence 9. There's just something about him that feels more special than that, especially in the gray fog.
I agree. Why do you have 2 G's here? That's what I've been saying, that like, what if he was a Beyonder before he became a Beyonder and is able to stack shit? I don't know.
Realm where he's definitely more powerful than a sequence.
Because like everything in this world is Beyonder powers. Like this is not like a separate thing. This has to be Beyonder power. How is he able to use this shit before he became a Beyonder? Maybe it's like proxy. Maybe he is borrowing the powers of a different Beyonder due to whatever happened in the past, and even though he is not a seer pathway at this point, he still was able to borrow power. I don't know.
9? I don't know. Update, I just watched episode 3, which got really bad reviews for some reason. I think people were
Episode 1 to 3 had a bad review because of how fast it was, right? Again, event-based structuring that Tencent forced down them because they thought that the average person can only appreciate jingling keys and fast-paced fights, and in order to appeal to them, that's why they did that. I still think it was a mistake. I give the Apocalypse Bringer my Nogre example of how if you rather than trying to hit everybody, sometimes it's better to hit your target audience, because those normies are already filtered out by how fast-paced and they don't even understand the show, while the original audience that want the slow burn are pissed off that it didn't take the slow burn route. So now you've pissed off both them. You try to please everybody and you pissed off everybody. Not a good idea in my opinion.
View bombing it because they like to hate on whatever's currently popular at the time, but that was probably one of the best anime fights I've ever seen.
Listen, I'm all for glazing Lord of the Mysteries, but
Animation absolutely popped off, and seeing all the different abilities each character has is just amazing. So far,
yeah.
I really love this anime. Alright, so episode 4 was good. It is getting a bit more confusing though. I know it's a mystery.
I love episode 4. Episode 4 is when I really got into the nitty-gritties of it. Episodes 1 to 3, I think my biggest complaint about this show is I can't get attached to the characters. Watching Donghua only. The more I watch the Slice of Life shorts, and as well as Old Neil's Mysticism class, the more I think Slice of Life is really important. A lot of people overlook Slice of Life elements. I believe this is the essence of making you empathize and connect with characters on a deeper level. Because it feels very like, okay, like Nighthawk's done, Leonard, blah, 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 Melissa, you know, our brother, Benson, but it's like, hard to really like get into them, you know? And due to the pacing of this, I don't know, it's difficult.
The anime with the word mystery in the title, but sometimes I'm so lost that it feels like I'm watching the second season of an anime that I didn't watch the first season for. Honestly, the ending scene of episode 4 with the upside down floating goddess or whatever was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I think they said it's called the True Creator, although it probably...
And again, doesn't that technically mean that the True Creator also is a Beyonder? Like, I made a funny joke about like how this guy is like, imagine the Aurora Order chained up some random dude and just worshipped it, and this guy's like, please let me go home. I'm not the True Creator. You're just worshipping, like it's like people that like worship deities and objects when there's like no meaning to it. But like, again, if everything is a Beyonder, this is a world of Beyonders and supernatural powers, and if gods, deities, right, they are like sequence 0 godhood, this is a fucking Beyonder, yeah?
Upside down floating goddess or whatever was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I think they said it's called the True Creator, although it probably would have hit a lot harder if I knew more about it. I think the problem actually is not the anime itself, but our expectations. We've gotten so used to understanding every anime after just watching it once, and this is a different kind of anime that...
Really? Have we gotten so used to it? I mean, you watched ReZero for the first time, did you understand everything? I don't think so. I had to do so much studying of the cut content and extra just like watching supplementary videos to add in more and more. I don't know.
Most people are unfamiliar with. Elden Ring, for example, is my favorite game of all time, except
it's
borderline impossible to understand the story just by
That's right. You need to go watch the YouTube documentaries, 5-hour video essays, motherfuckers, schizo theory crafting off of like 1 page of fucking written information, right? Like items will have some descriptions and people will go in and do like a deep dive, and I love that. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things because I like shows that don't spoon feed you. I like shows that don't just sit there like there's a thing called, again, show don't tell. And I think that is the best way of doing storytelling. Many people want to simply turn their brains off and just get spoon-fed all the information and exposition, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, I like it when they don't feed you. They give you little clues here and there. They give you all the setup. They foreshadow heavily. But they expect you to think deeply. And later on, when shit hits the fan and extra context is given out, you look back to the previous episodes, the previous shit, then you realize, holy fuck, this is insane. That is my favorite type of storytelling, because that's when the author is respecting you as the viewer instead of treating you as a fucking toddler who cannot think and has to be constantly spoon-fed information. This is what I love. That's why I love shows like ReZero does the same thing too, right? So many mysterious shit, so many little hints and gestures that you look back and you rewatch season 1 and you're like, holy shit, that's why Roswell was acting that way. In your first pass of watching ReZero, you don't really think about what this fucking clown freak is doing. You think that he's just a perfect clown. Later on, you'll realize, holy shit, everything had a purpose. Everything had a reason. It's just you don't really know what's happening.
Playing it. Understanding the lore of Elden Ring requires multiple playthroughs and heavy external research just to begin to understand it. It's not just about a tarnished becoming Elden Lord, it's about a number of invisible outer gods competing for influence over the lands between, but you would never know that just from playing the game once because it chooses not to shove it in your face. And I think Lord of the Mysteries is similar, where you could just watch it and enjoy the beautiful animation, but if you do a bit—
Listen, I'm just gonna say it here. If you're watching Lord of the Mysteries for these fucking fights, I think that you are like, nah, I can't say that. Because here's the thing, like, I watched the clown fight, I don't care. I genuinely don't give a fuck. This does not move me. This does not compel me. I see flashlight happening, I'm like, cool. When I saw the last episode with Mr. Isaac and his backstory, and the revelation when he says, sometimes I have these dreams. Some days I'm a knight. Some days I'm drawing a portrait of my daughter. And that's when you realize, holy fuck, this guy has been living for 1,000+ years, living many different lives, and these are the— that's when I'm like compelled. That's when I'm like, damn, bro. You get excited by the clown fight? Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine. It's just like, I feel like for a show like Lord of the Mysteries, this is like the most insignificant thing. I feel like this, again, is bullshit, just jingling keys to get the attraction of the fucking stupid-ass motherfuckers that can't possibly appreciate the fundamental depth of this show.
Could just watch it and enjoy the beautiful animation, but if you do a bit of independent research outside of that, you'll probably end up enjoying it a lot more. Honestly, the biggest problem I have with Lord of the Mysteries is not—
No, I'm not denying. I'm not arguing that clown fight wasn't cool. I'm just saying, I don't care about it. Like, I'm not watching Lord of the Mysteries expecting this is the Shibuya incident. There's other animes like now, even like Sakamoto Days, where it basically is Shibuya incident. Season 2 right now, I'm loving it. It's so fun, the hype fights. But that's not— but again, that has a totally separate expectation that you're watching it for the fights. And this, the fights, I don't care. It's like, it's cool that it happened, but it's such an afterthought that does not matter. I care more about when the clown talked about Antigonus, Hornassus, the clown potion, stuff like that. That's what gets me locked into this story.
At the pacing, it's actually as simple as the speed of the subtitles. Sometimes it feels like they expect you to read 2 full paragraphs of dialogue in less than a second, and while—
Agreed. They do that. The Chinese dub again, and the pacing of this. That is definitely an issue for the non-Chinese, person.
While I have no problem pausing or rewinding, there's a lot of people out there who just won't do that for whatever reason. So
maybe he watched the drama videos. the pausing and the rewind stuff. Oh man, the last like 2 weeks has been just me farming that shit, bro. It's been crazy the last fucking week of viewership on YouTube due to all the fucking drama, man. I think I came out on top.
Unless you know Mandarin, I think the subtitle speed is an unnecessary barrier to understanding this anime.
I do agree. That's what the English dub exists. Go watch that.
English dub could probably fix this problem, but a lot of people just refuse to watch dubs, so it's just a different kind of anime, and you're not supposed to watch it the same way you watch a high school rom-com.
Absolutely agreed. That is 100% agreed. Lord of the Mysteries Chinese dub is a fundamental different experience to any other, animes that you've seen, from other animes. Therefore, you need to have a different level of expectations coming into it.
Aside from being confusing though, this anime is absolutely incredible. The fight scenes are so good, the visuals and animation are phenomenal.
They are. Visuals, again, fight scenes, they're great. They are, I'm not denying that. It's just, again, I care so much about the other part of the stories.
And it also has some of the best music I've ever heard in an anime.
The soundtrack is pretty good. I really enjoyed the Mr. Azek episode when he was talking about, what happened to his kid and the past stuff. That soundtrack there with the violins was popping off.
The fact that something I don't even understand is capable of keeping me this enthralled with it is a pretty impressive indicator that it's probably peak.
Or is he just glazing right now for the sake of a sponsored video? Bro don't even understand what's going on. He's thinking it's peak in order to farm the glazers. Nah, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
Would I recommend this anime to a broad audience? Absolutely yes, but that recommendation does come with a disclaimer. If you just want to watch some cool fights with good animation, don't worry because there's plenty of that.
Yeah, again, right? I think that the studio is trying to, again, hit many different type of audiences. And again, there is a lot more people who get hyped up about cool fights more than the deep level of storytelling. And in order to go mainstream, in order to be mass appealing, that's why they're doing this. And I think that, again, when handled in a proper way, it's a good idea, right? To be able to, again, I think the perfect scenario is being able to hit every audience where the barrier to entry is so low that the average person can just watch and have fun without really understand what's going on. But it's such a sweaty show that if you cared enough to go really deep, again, I talk about the floor and the ceiling. The barrier to entry, the floor needs to be low enough where everyone can join in and just watch and have fun. And the ceiling needs to be high enough where if you roll the hardcore people, you want to get the fuck in and get the most out of it, go ahead. You basically, that's the perfect way to handle every audience. But to do that, to actually execute that, very difficult.
But if you plan on analyzing and deeply understanding this anime, then that will require some effort on your end. It's not one of those anime where you can get distracted for a second or text on your phone while watching, because it really feels like if you miss a single line of dialogue, it might be detrimental to your understanding of the series, which makes me wonder, how badly is Crunchyroll butchering the subtitle?
They are, and apparently episode 7 again, it's really, really bad, bro. I hear they fucked it up. I mean, and they're correcting it, but like, here's the thing. I acknowledge that Crunchyroll has been correcting these subs, but think about it like this. You took a shit on a fucking carpet, then you cleaned it up yourself. Why the fuck would I say thank you? Why would I say good job? Why did you even shit on the carpet from the beginning? Why are you just like clapping and saying good job to someone that's fixing a mistake that should have never been fucking made? Have you ever thought about that?
I remember they ruined a couple plot points in ReZero by having bad subtitles, but this anime is a totally different level. I mean, it feels like every other word needs...
Like episode 1 and 2, the luck enhancement ritual, the celestial worthy shit, that detail is so important. They fucked that up. Apparently, the most recent episode, they fucked up, very important epic related events. Like, you can't be doing that.
To have a hyperlink to a fucking wiki page, so I can't even imagine what the novel readers must be going through with Crunchyroll. Anyway, I really like this anime.
Well, at the very least, BCMA Studios isn't getting bought out by a different fucking, distributor. Shoutouts to ReZero and Studio White Fox. Oh, God.
And so far, it's
surprised he hasn't made a video about that yet.
Probably gonna be God tier in my upcoming tier list video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that.
I still can't forgive him for putting Lazarus up there, bro. I can't believe he rated Lazarus that high. But everything else, his tier list is really good, bro. I think he got better at his taste in seasonal anime and Giguk. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Echidnut has entered the Lord of Mysteries and he's enjoying it. The fights are a spectacle. Absolutely. They're really fun to watch. The story is so deep and you really got to lock in for it. The more that I think about Lord of the Mysteries, the more my brain just works and the more that I thirst over knowledge. And goddamn, this is honestly one of... y'all weren't like lying when you said like this story is peak. And we're only in volume 1 right now. We're only in the first season. I can't imagine. Like, again, think about when you're watching ReZero for the first time and you're basically just like a couple episodes in, right? You're not even at arc 3. You're like an arc 1 and arc 2. Think about that versus the knowledge that you have now after watching season 3. It's mind-blowing, right? So expect that for Lord of the Mysteries too. Makes you excited. Please check out Echidnut. Here's a link to the video. Go give it a like. Check his other content out. See you next time.